Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the TrekNomads Markha Valley webinar. This webinar will cover most of the information related to the Markha Valley Trek, along with the itinerary, along with that, the inclusions, along with that, the package what we sell and the inclusions with which it comes along with the package. And you also get very, in-depth gist of all the frequently asked questions what we have seen across in the last 2 to 3 years from our trekkers who have did this trek. So we'll go ahead and we have a set agenda. And as you can see that Markha Valley Trek is one of the oldest treks, which in fact it falls in one of the Silk routes. It's also part of the Trans Himalayan Trek route. So Trans Himalayan Trek route means you start your trek all the way from the borders of Himachal and China, all the way until Leh Ladakh, cross over into the now occupied Himalayas, which is occupied by China, and all the way ending at the Pakistan occupied Kashmir and reaching to Afghanistan. So this is also called the Silk Route, you guys know. In fact, it kind of beautiful, places where you can witness Leh, what Leh has to offer, wholesome, and how Leh people are, right? The people, the culture, as well as how the villages of Leh are in this entire route. So yeah, as you can see on the screen, Markha Valley Trek can be done throughout the year, but Kongmorala Pass has to be crossed, right? So the entire trek is considered. You can do the trek either, you can go to the end of Kongmorala and then come back, or you have to cross the pass, right? So instead of repeating the same route coming back, the route goes like this. You start from Sara, I mean, you'll know about it. You'll start from one place and you'll end the trek around a pass where you cross that pass and go to the other side of the pass so that there's a highway which takes you directly to Leh. So you can see that in winters the river is Markha river is there. It freezes. In fact, it's an alternative for Chadar trek. In fact, we do offer people to do Markha winter trek where the entire river will be frozen, less amount of tourists, and you can see that offbeat nomadic experience what you can get in Jan when entire world is in Zanskar and you are there in Markha enjoying the best they can offer. Coming down to the agenda for today, it's a difficult trek because of the altitude. We are offering it for 7 nights and 8 days. Maximum altitude is the Kongmorala Pass at 5,200 meters. Best time to do, with warmest months to do, would be July all the way. We have it like this. Just a moment. Okay. So the agenda is like this. So we'll keep it 45 minutes to 60 minutes. Since we're already 10 minutes late, we're expecting the webinar to end by 7:15 to 7:20. So we can see the agenda where it is. So at any point of time, if you guys are dropping out of this call, we'll always make sure we'll send you a recording of this call to you. You can always watch it at your leisure, right? So we'll go to the first number on the agenda, which is basically the day by day itinerary. So the itinerary goes like this. Day one, you arrive in Leh. Leh itself is at an altitude of around 3,500 meters. It's called the land of high passes, and it is not the regular altitude where a normal human being should be able to be there, right? So in normal sense, all of us are leaving around. Let us say, I can see Jacqueline is from Mumbai, Sugandhi is from Chennai, I am from Bangalore. So all of us, most part of the mainland India is below 2,000 meters. In fact, entire Earth, if you can see, usually our average altitude is approximately around around 2,000 meters. Anything beyond 2,000 meters, less than 2,000 meters, anything beyond 2,000 meters is considered to be mountainous region, and anything beyond 3,000 meters is considered to be a high altitude. So Leh in itself, if you look at the city is at 3,500 meters. Airport, get yourself picked up and then come to the hotel completely by drinking at least 4 liters of water on that particular day. Since we'll be traveling from lower altitude to high altitude, we always suggest people to keep drinking water, right? So before the flight takes off, usually the flight is from Delhi. So make sure that you have 1 liter of water bottle with you, which you empty throughout the flight in that half an hour or 45 minutes of journey. And once you land in the airport and still until you reach the hotel, you make sure that you consume another 1 liter. So that's basically 2 liters of water to be consumed, so that any kind of toxins or basically the urea does its work. So the blood does its work. It tries to take in good amount of you try to breathe in good amount of oxygen, and then you filter out all the toxins out of in terms of sweat or your urine or whatever it is, right? So this is day one. You arrive and you stay at a convenience in the hotel. Day two. Day two is where we do a very small principle where we take you to a small, hill where we are staying Shanti Stupa. You can see the map here in front of you. So from Leh, we go to Shanti Stupa. We spend our time. We gain some altitude. It is basically a trick used by mountaineers where we climb up and sleep low. That's a principle where it helps you to acclimatize yourself, right? So we go to Shanti. You can see the entire Leh from there and all the way to the hotel, and that is what we do on day two. And then the second half of the day we will be also checking your gear to see whether your gear is sufficient to do the trek or not. If required, you can go ahead and rent any gear that is not there with you in the Leh market. This day two permit process and all these things also will happen on this particular day. Day three is the day when you wake up, you have your breakfast, you pack, and then we arrange a vehicle for you where you drive from Leh all the way to Sara. So you can see on the map, Leh is on the northeast corner, and the trek starts from the southwest corner on the map. So from Leh, you have an 2 hours of drive, 2.5 hours of drive from Leh to Sara. You cross the famous Sangam, which is basically two rivers joining, and you will cross that river at Fay, and then you get down to Sara, and then you're there in Sara. From Sara, you get down, and then we load, whatever luggage, offload all the luggage, and then we start picking the luggage and we start trekking. So this particular day, the third day, is relatively flat. We are not really going to really high altitude. Sara is approximately around 3,550 to 3,600. It's only 100 meters to 50 meters of altitude gain. It's not much, right? And from there to Markha, which is approximately, I would say 4 hours or 5 hours, I could say that around 9 kilometers, 8 to 9 kilometers for your reference. And you will reach by probably late afternoon or early evening, and something around which is around 3 o'clock, 3:30 ish. And we set up camp in Markha in the camping grounds. So you'll be staying in Markha for this night, which is the day three. And day four is the day when you trek from Markha to Upper Hunker. So Hunker also is a village. Throughout this trek, you can see villages. You can see small, mud style, stone, mud, clay, mud houses which are there. And the homestays which you see nowadays, which are there, also are made up of those things. There's no formal reservation of homestay, so we also have a homestay kind of a trek where if entire group decides to go on a homestay, we usually take them on homestay. But in the interest of doing the trek in Angkor, should take you approximately another 6 to 7 hours. Each Upper Angkor, which is again a gradual incline from 3,750 meters to 3,000, around 4,000, I would say. So that's only 250 meters of elevation gain. And day five is a day when you cross from Hunker. The map shows as a small, just one single green line, but it's really breaking the barrier on this particular day. 4,000 meters and above is a different terrain altogether. I think few of you have did treks already. If I'm not wrong, Jacqueline has already been to Sandakpur, and you also been to Valley of Flowers as well as Kedarkanta. So all this treks will end somewhere around 4,000 meters, right? They don't go beyond that. Now this trek is still continuing after 4,000 meters. So this is the part where everything hits new for you. What is that part which you have to get prepared for? This is the high alpine desert. So when I say desert, there's no desert kind of sand or anything as such which you see there. Completely normal soil where the vegetation is very less, mountainous soil, rugged and rocky, here and there boulders, rocks and moraines thrown across here and there. You navigate through them and you go high up all the way until 4,700 meters to Nimaling, which should take you. See, the distance itself is lesser. It's around 8 9 kilometers only, but it will take you the same amount of time what you would do, probably a 15 kilometers kind of a thing, because you go slow and steady. So you're breaking 4,000 meters and getting into 4,700 meters is the day when the pressure in the atmosphere reduces. The cold goes completely low. And third, you also have the high beating heart which is there because of the high altitude with you. So because of all these the three things, your metabolism completely slows down, and it looks like a longer trek, like a small exercise rather than a trek. So might be difficult for few people, but yeah, still doable, slow and steady. So you arrive at Nimaling on day 5 and rest on Nimaling. Day 6 is the challenging day. Why challenging day? You are crossing 4,700. You are going up to 5,200, which is a 500 meters of elevation gain. And then you're getting down from Kongmorula. You are going all the way to Chokdo. which is a total distance of anywhere from 16 to 18 kilometers. So there is a very big, pass which is there in front of you to cross in order to go towards Chokdo. So we cross this pass. So you would have already gradually come every single day on the trek. If you look at it gradually, the first day is only 150 meters, second day is around 200 to 300 meters, fourth day is around another say 500 to 600 meters. On this particular day, which is the last day of the trek, the sixth day is the day when you are going to cross Kongmorala, high, go up 500 meters higher, and then lose the entire altitude of 4200 all the way to 4000, which means you gain 500 and you lose close to 1200 meters of altitude, 1300, sorry. So that's basically 1.3 kilometers of altitude is lost in as short as 3 hours, and you have to gain 500 meters of altitude in the first half. So first half of the day is only 2 to 3 kilometers from Nimaling to Kongmorala. You cross all the way to Kongmorala on the first half of the day, which is basically 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours. And once you cross the second half of the day, which is basically, you can divide the second half into 4 hours actually. So these 4 hours will be doing 16 kilometers, which is basically getting down along the canyon. In fact, this is one of the beautiful routes I have seen in in Leh. You see a canyon kind of a feeling where you go across next to the river. There's a stream which flows backwards towards Chokdo, and then you go next to the stream always, and then it's really really beautiful. You see turquoise rocks, greenish, a lot of minerals actually, greenish rocks, yellowish, colorful rocks which you see on this entire route. And by the time you reach Chokdo, it's usually around 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock, and if you're early, around 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock. And once you reach Chokdo, your vehicle will be there waiting for you guys, and then you can pick up the vehicle and then you drive all the way to Leh, which should be around 2 hours of drive again. So once you reach Leh, this particular day, which is the day 6, you rest there. And then day 7 also is given as leisure day. This day is given because earlier we used to have an extra trek until Sara, but recently they have laid a road all the way until Sara, because of which we have cut down that. And also it made sense. Few people were asking, why don't we, since you're coming to Leh, you did the trek, I mean you spend close to 5 6 days in the trek, and you come back, you want to do a little bit of sightseeing. So we kept the day as leisure day for people to go ahead and do self sightseeing. So that is day 7. Day 8, you check out and then you fly back from Leh to your home place. This is the itinerary for you. So the next slide would be, just a minute, guys. Okay, so this is the day by day route. I think, yeah. So this covers the entire day 1 all the way to day 6 until the departure. So in the green, we have mentioned it in basically the days when you stay in Leh, and probably the black one is the one where you were doing the trek route. Yeah. So after this, the next agenda we have is the accommodation. What kind of accommodations you are getting? So on the entire route, right, you'll be staying in Deluxe Hotel in Leh. And sorry, before the trek, before the entire route starts, you stay 2 nights in Leh for 2 nights, and after the trek, you come back and stay again 2 nights. The night when you come back to Leh after the trek, that night you stay in Leh, and one more leisure night you stay. So 4 nights in Leh, 2 nights before and 2 nights after the trek. And on the route, you have 3 nights on the route. The first two would be homestays. If you look at it, Sara to Markha we have homestay, and Happar Ankar we have a homestay. So you'll be staying in one of the homestays. If at all you're doing the camping route, same places we have camping also. We can also camp on that particular places. And third, there's a mandatory camping which you might have to do, because after Upper Hankar, there's a place called Tochungste. You cross Tochungste and then you get a Buddha which is there. And once you cross the Buddha statue, you are going towards the fixed campsites of the government called Nimaling. Nimaling is a camping site where people have to come and camp. Since there's no, it's a really, really long route, right? From Upper Hankar, crossing Kongmorala Pass in one single day is not possible. So usually travelers come and set up their own camping. If you don't have camping, what happens is government also has their own fixed camping setup which is there. You can also camp at that place, and we'll be camping there. Just so you know, homestays are very basic. Don't expect anything on the entire route. You will not have electricity on the entire route. It's still backward. It's still not connected to the entire to the proper modern world. And you don't have network. No network throughout the route. The moment you leave Leh and go towards Chilling or Sara, you lose the network around halfway, and again you get the network only back when you reach the top of Kongmorala Pass, only when you stay on top of the pass. Once you get down from the pass again towards Chokdo, again you don't have network until you come down to Chokdo. So just assume that you don't have network the moment you leave Leh until you reach towards Leh. So these how the entire route is. And considering that, you can understand there's no network, there's no electricity, which means the entire route is still, not developed, or I would say it's basically nomadic homes on the entire route in the homestays. So usually you have toilets which are dry toilets. Sometimes you get water, but then that's not there always. And hot water facility also is very very difficult here. They usually have solar hot water heaters, but then that also are not reliable. So consider that you're not having a bathe for the entire route. And you also can get sometimes the local Wi-Fi with the homestay if the charge, if the solar is good and if it charges the battery, powering the battery powers a small Wi-Fi router which is given by the government. So 2G internet comes now and then, they charge some extra money and sometimes give the internet whenever it's working. So that is a homestay setup what you have. And in Nimaling, it's a fixed campsite. This is not a campsite which gets cleaned by commercial companies like this. It gets cleaned roughly, but don't expect too much of cleanliness in this campsite. It's completely basic. You're sleeping for the night, you're crashing there, and morning wake up, just do your refresh yourself, finish your morning routines, and then you are crossing over the pass so that you reach out to civilization. So these are very very basic setup in the Nimali. This accommodation for you. Next would be, just a moment. Yeah, so the temperature on in Leh, you can see that see, the higher you go, the lower the temperature is, right? The weather becomes more wilder, and it's into the, it's in the wilderness. So the highest what you can see in Leh in itself is around 25 degrees to 5 degrees, which is basically the day temperature. So I can see Leh ka temperature as 25 degrees, which is the day wala, and day can come as low as 5 degrees in the trek route, right? In Leh it is 25 degrees, and in the tech route it is 5 degrees. Whereas in the nights, Leh will be as cold as 5 degrees, but in the route you may touch minus 15 degrees. This 15 degrees is only in Nimaling. And this is one of those days we'll be sleeping at around, close to 5,000 meters. And it is not easy to sleep at 5,000 meters when the temperature is minus 15 degrees outside. So you'll have usually sleeping bag kind of a setup what the government would have given. So you'll be sleeping in that. So this is how the highest temperature is going to be. But throughout the route, right? If you've been to Leh, you'll understand. If you've not, just for a reference, you're already at 3,500 meters, which is basically, most of the Himalayan peaks are at 3,500 meters. Most of the treks are there at 3,500 meters. This, state or this place starts from 3,500, which means sun is flaring and it's hitting you directly face to face at so much of, intensity that you get UV, sunburning throughout the route. Sun is burning your skin. At the same time, if there are cloud cover on top of you, let's say small remote, some stray cloud comes on top of you and you find a shade, right? Instantly, you shiver. The winds are so chilly that the temperature drops from 35 degrees all the way, 25 degrees all the way to 0 degrees within like just 5 6 seconds. So get used to that. So this is what happens in the trek route. So one side hot, one side chilly, and both of them, extreme weather which is hitting you throughout the route. So this is very common. And yeah, layering yourself, as mentioned over here, is completely required on this route. Even though all the photos look good, surreal and everything, instead of putting a sunscreen, which doesn't help any which ways, if you don't use it every 2 hours or 3 hours once, it's better that you cover your entire face with a tube or a bandana or whatever, monkey cap or something like that. So you don't have the exposure to sun. At the same time, you don't have exposure to wind as well. And Kongmola is the coldest where you go to, but since you don't have to necessarily face 15 degrees in Kongmola, because it's only going to be there, I would say, in the night, right, where you're sleeping inside the campsite. So pretty much that. Next would be the gear checklist. And so one of the important points of the gear checklist is going to be, so throughout the trek, I would say 3 nights and 4 days. 4 days of trek has to be planned. So I would go, with the important two things what is required for you. Then I'll go to the next part. Two important things which I would like to mention, right? So there are two friends for you on the entire treks in the Himalayas. Number one is your trekking shoe. The moment you wake up in the morning, the moment you go back to the bed, right? You have around 12 hours of window, or even before you reach the campsite or about to reach the campsite. Until then, you are having your shoe on your which is going to be there as the longest equipment on the entire route for you. So make sure you have a very good trekking shoe with you, a high ankle, waterproof, which has good teeth or grip, we call it. So you have a good trekking shoe which is waterproof, high ankle, and good grip. Right? This is something which you have to invest in. If you're at least doing 2 to 3 treks per year, or let us say even one trek a year in the last 2 to 3 years, consider investing in a good trekking shoes. So this is one. Second, a good trekking bag. Because of high altitude, what happens is a lot of the bags what you have, they work, they're utilitarian itself. You have pockets for let us say you can put water bottle, you have zips where you can have extra stuff like lip balm or something like that. You may have a very good utilitarian bag with you, but then end of the day those bags might not survive multiple Himalayan treks. So take a rugged, good, sturdy trekking bag which will also hug you, which also gives you a gap between the bag and yourself where the air can flow. So you usually sweat while trekking, right? So make sure that that kind of bag is there with you. These are the two friends which are something I would like to mention in every trek call. So this is also a part of it. And now coming down to the entire overall gear list, right? From bottom to top, you have shoes, you need socks. Every single day, change your socks. So what are the things that you change every single day? Socks, inners, and your t-shirt. So these three things, you have extra pairs. So let us say 4 days of a trek, I'll have four pairs of socks, 4 pairs of inners, and then 4 pairs of t-shirts. So I mean 4 t-shirts. So you have all these things with you, which you change every day in the evening. You finish the trek, you get tired, you get dirty, so you change. Hygiene purposes, you change in the evening. Next, you have to wear a trekking pant. So have a sturdy, good trekking pant which is all weather, which can be probably like a dry fit, which has abrasive resistant material around your thighs and the glutes and your back, so that whenever you sit on rock or any uneven surfaces on the entire trek route, the pant can be sturdy and it can safeguard you, right? The pant also has to be light enough to a material which should be able to dry easily. At the same time, it also should be sturdy enough to bear with the rugged nature of all the treks which you go through. So make sure you invest in a good trekking pant. If you're doing a 4-day trek, one single trekking pant is sufficient. Usually you should have a backup pant. This pant is only a backup pant, not for changing like how you do every single day going to the office or whatever it is. It's not like that. On a trek route, you pack as little as possible, so that way you wear one good trek pant which comes for a week, in fact. But if you have a trek which is only 4 days, I would suggest you to have one single trekking pant and one backup pant. Don't use that pant unless and until it is necessary. For example, in the case of you getting wet because of rain, you may get into a river unexpectedly. For all these reasons, this route we don't have rivers crossing anymore. It used to be there before. Now we're only crossing bridges which are built, in most of the places. On the few places where you're crossing rivers, it is only probably a half a foot, walk where you can wear your shoes and cross. Sometimes you may have to remove shoes when the flow is probably 1 feet, but not more than that. And that is your trekking pant. And now coming down to your torso, layering up. So make sure for the you layer up in a good manner. You should have a base layer. What is sticking to your skin is basically called as a base layer. Apart from your inner, whatever you wear is basically a base layer, is like a thermal. So another word is actually thermal. So you can have a fleece thermal or you can have a cotton thermal. So that is your base layer. On top of base layer, you have a t-shirt. Suggested dry fit t-shirts. And another suggestion with the dry fit t-shirt, make sure it's a bonus if you have a full sleeve. So a dry fit t-shirt which is a full sleeve t-shirt is something which people should invest in when they go on treks, because you can save on putting sunscreen across all of your hands and everything if you have a full sleeve t-shirt. If you don't have a full sleeve, not to fret, just wear a dry fit t-shirt what you have already, and buy the athletic sleeves which come, all these cricketer sleeves, or all the sports people wear sleeves nowadays. So just buy those sleeves for yourself. And on top of your t-shirt comes the fleece jacket. Fleece jacket is basically the same one what you get, nowadays you get this soft duvet, or the kambal what we call it, right? So that kind of metal made up of usually plastic, right? But it can be a barrier for the chill wind which can hit you. So make sure that you wear it on top of your t-shirt. And this is going to be the third layer. Base layer, a t-shirt, and on top of that a fleece. On top of this you have a down jacket. So this is how you gear yourself up for high altitude beyond 3500 meters. Until 3500 meters, you don't require all these things. Based on that particular day's weather, you just wear a base layer and then a t-shirt. But considering Markha Valley, right, I would not even suggest base layer also, because Base layer only comes into picture when you are witnessing complete cold. But considering Marka has these cycles, going hot and again becoming chilly. You walk, your core temperature increases, you get sweaty. Again, there's a wind which chills you down. So there's a constant fight of, what do you say, heat as well as cold in this route. So I would suggest wear directly a t-shirt. On top of that, you wear a fleece jacket and a down jacket. That should be sufficient for you, because by the time you arrive at Leh and acclimatize yourself for 2 nights, and third day you're coming on the trek, you'll understand what kind of gear to wear, right? So when you start the trek, you may wear a down jacket, but once you start, your core temperature increases, you start removing layers, because it starts feeling hot. That's completely fine, that's completely all right, but don't keep it in your keep it away in a porter bag or something like that. See, this route doesn't have porters included in this package. So make sure that if you want that, take it additionally. In all the other routes we get mules and all these things. Here also we can get mules, but then the challenge is you need to have a minimum of 10 people group, or else the mule person won't come. It doesn't make unit economics doesn't work. So you need to have 6 mules which you have to take minimum. So 5 to 6 mules means we need to have at least 10 people in the group. Even if you have 6 7 people, taking 10 mules doesn't make any sense. So, and it was always causing a lot of confusion with us, and then we had to remove it. So now whatever porters you get, and also getting mules is very difficult in this route. So the only other option what you have at this point in time is taking a human porter. You pay for the porter actuals. They charge around 1500 for 2 bags. So for, I think, 4 days of trek, each of you can give 60 kgs. Two of you can give 12 kgs, and he'll carry it for around 1500 to 1800 per day. So you can pay him directly, and we'll help you out with that. So why I told you about this is because you have your day backpack, right? So in a day backpack, you always have this layer, upper layers, whatever you have. You always keep your fleece jacket, your down jacket, and the third important one, your poncho. This thing will be there with your, day backpack, what you carry every point of time, whenever you're there outdoors in any of the Himalayan treks. For rain, you have a poncho. For cold, you have a fleece jacket and you have a down jacket. So this is compulsory with yourself. When you feel you feel like wearing it, and let's say if you're feeling chilly, wear both the jackets. When you feel okay, it's cold but not really chilly, you can remove your down jacket, or you can remove your fleece jacket based on your cold susceptibility, right? Now, apart from this, what else is there? Your head area, which is basically extremity. Extremities are your hands, your feet, and your head. So whenever you arrive at the homestay, remove your shoes and make sure your feet are exposed to the surroundings, temperature, and weather, so that your feet can get used to it. Your foot is like a, I would say, a sensor for your entire body to get adjusted with the core body temperature. The moment you let your foot out in the actual air, right, it will get adjusted. Your body temperature gets controlled as per the outside. It prepares your entire body with respect to the other, the next day or the surroundings or today's, temperature, right? So wear a sock, or however you feel comfortable. Those of you who are like very, feel very cold and everything, you can wear a sock and put on your campsite slippers. These for extremities in your tea houses, or sorry, in your homestays. For your head, you wear a sun hat which covers your completely, a round sun hat, so that your neck area, your face, your entire chest area can be covered from the sun which is hitting you directly. And apart from the sun hat, you also consider taking a bandana which covers your lower half of your face, which is basically you allow your nose to breathe, and you cover your face, your ears, and your entire neck region, right? Those of you who have been to Decathlon, you can see there's this beekeeper's hat, similar to that, but not actually beekeeper's hat, where there's a sun hat with a mesh which covers, like a burqa, what you can see, which you can cover your lower half of the face, and you can only see your eyes, right? That is something which you can consider taking for your head. And another extremity is what you can consider as a gloves, two-layer gloves, which is basically a simple liner and a proper waterproof gloves. So these also for evenings. In the daytime, I don't think you need it. Only in the evenings, when you have to step out, walk around, you might need it. And even in the evenings, consider having a good tube to cover your entire neck area and your face area. Only keep your eyes visible in the evening, so cover your ears at all point of time when you're outside. When you're inside tents or when you're inside the homestays, you can allow your ears to, in the warm area, you can allow your ears to be open, but then when you go in the cold air, don't allow cold air to chilly air to enter your ears or your neck or your chest, or your any part of your core basically. So that is the overall composition of what is required for clothing as well as gear. Apart from it, you can see the bottom three which is there, which is basically toiletries, personal medication, and then hydration and snacks. Toiletries is basically your brush, soap, whatever it is you want to, what you feel comfortable. Just don't bring stuff which is not necessary on the route. Please carry gear whatever is only going to be used. At least by now I would have seen, most of you, at least I can recognize, few of you here who've been to treks. Even after doing multiple treks, I have seen people, carry a lot of stuff which they will think they might use it. Never ever carry things you think, okay, I might use this. Only carry that stuff which is definitely going to be used. Usually, even if you pack like that, you may end up coming back with, at least 30% of the gear which is not used at all on the route. So that is something which I would like to also inform. Personal medication is obviously, of course, which is to be taken. Please make sure you consult your doctors if you have any medication to be taken before the trek. Anyways, we are going to ask you to go and get a medical certificate for us to, in order to issue insurance for you. Please make sure that you get personal medical order. You have a list of things which you have to carry. If you don't have them, even for basic precaution purposes, painkillers for body, painkillers for tooth, your stomach upset, you may have bacterial infection or you may have loose motions for stomach. Consider also taking fever medication and cold. This is basic stuff what you can carry. And for bruises or cuts, consider having a band-aid or your corn bandage and all those things. Hydration and snacks, yes, of course. Make sure that you carry water bottles, which is an important thing. If you don't have already thought about it, one another important gear ka checklist is good sunglasses, and also a water, we call camel bag, which is a hydration bag, which is basically a pouch with as a pipe coming across your shoulder, where you can save time just by sucking onto it. If not, you end up taking out your bag once. So once, twice is okay, but every single time you take out your bag to drink water, it's like an exercise after day one. And you can feel your shoulders get sore after, they feel sore in the nights just doing this. So it's better that you concentrate only on trekking, and then you avoid taking out your bag and putting now and then. So consider having that. Hydration and snacks can also be your whatever your homely food, what you can have for yourself. You can, what you eat at home. Probably don't just bring food for the entire 4 days. Don't worry, we're giving you food, decent good North Indian food is given to you. After this slide, I'll tell you the inclusions for you. Just make sure that you consider taking some of, probably like a evening snack or something like that, which can hydrate you, or some power snack on the route, where you can take some dry fruits or some dates which can power you when you're on the route. That is a gear checklist. One thing what we missed while telling the itinerary was the inclusion, so really sorry about it. So we'll mention about it right now. Or we can mention about it in the last, so we can go to the next slide right now. Until then, I hope no doubts, I'm clear. Okay, so fitness and mindset. So make sure that see, we as there's a lot of people already on the internet who have given enough information, and people probably also have seen a lot of information with regards to Himalayan treks. So I would not bore you with a lot of stuff that is not necessary. At least as per I know, for my own preparation or people around me, if I go out on treks, I suggest people to follow this. One, trekking is one of those hobbies where you definitely have to be physically fit, so physically ready. Prepare yourself by probably 30 days, 60 days, whatever it is, right? Number of days. Usually for 60 days is when you start trekking. So make sure you are physically fit for the trek. That is one. So how do you prepare yourself? Probably endurance training. So you mix endurance training and you mix staircase training, because the easiest stimulation what you can do is the staircase training in the mount. I mean, the same thing happens in the mountains can be done in your own place by doing staircases, because you're climbing height, right? So endurance, staircase, lift weights, at least once a week. That should be good. And fourth, overall, work on your breathing also. This is basically the basic stuff what you need to do for your overall physical fitness what you have. So here you already mentioned, this is a moderate to difficult trek. So this trek doesn't require a lot of treks. Before, at least one trek you should have done, so that you'll get an idea of how treks work. Because since it's an high altitude, it will help you how to prepare yourself every single day. So that once you have that physical fitness, the concept of doing a trek should be there. If you have that, you're physically ready for the trek. So this is physical fitness. Now once physical fitness is done, what is the next one? Next one is going to be your psychological fitness or your mental readiness to do the trek. So there's a lot of people who think 3,500 meters is very huge. I should take Dimox. I may get AMS. Lot of stuff is spoken in a negative manner, which should not be taken in a negative manner. You are of course going to 3,500 meters. You are of course going to a high altitude. You are putting yourself there. Nobody is punishing you, right? We are going to explore and make sure that we soak in all the experience what we can get out of that route. People, culture, the landscape, the nature in itself, their flora and fauna. I mean, a lot of stuff which you would have probably planned, and you're going there with a lot of you put money, effort, and time. But then when it comes to the mindset, right? A lot of people have this mindset that I might fall ill on so many reasons. I might fall down, or I might even get AMS. These are the three things what major things what might happen, route. So if that happens, that is going to happen. You can't stop it, right? So let's keep that aside for a moment. Just make sure that your mental mindset is ready. First, motivate yourself every single day the moment you wake up. This day is your day. So whatever the trek is, however the group is going to be, whatever the the people are around, with regards to their the demeanor or the way they speak or whatever it is, right? This day is yours. So just look at that particular day and then have your psychologically set up in such a way that you want to go explore, and you want to enjoy this particular day one step at a time. So the difficult day also, the day when you go from Nimaling all the way to Kongmurula and then going to Chokdo, don't think about Leh. Think about only Kongmurula. Arrive at Kongmurula, enjoy that one final sight of the entire Markha Valley, then think about going to Chokdo. Once you're at Chokdo, then you anyways face you have to go to Leh. So have a mindset which is progressive and positive and motivating yourself to do the trek. So this is what I would suggest people to be. So just make sure that you're having that mental readiness for yourself. Now apart from all these things on the route, you take care of yourself. How do you take care of yourself? Get sound sleep for at least 7 to 8 hours on the route. Second, it seems difficult on the high altitude, reason why you have acclimatization days. So try to get adjusted with that. Even if you get 6 hours, that's also sufficient. And if you don't get the sleep, don't get bogged down. Early in the morning, you have to wake up, you have to go. Today has to happen, and you go back and you have the chance to sleep completely, early the next day. So make sure that you have the day start perfectly. So first thing first, make sure you try and get good sleep. Second, hydrate yourself to the entire route at least 4 liters per day. 2 liters you hydrate within the first half of the day, and 1 liter before you reach the campsite on the second half of the day, and 1 more liter around the bedtime, so that you complete 4 liters the overall throughout the day. So good sleep, hydration, and then third is food. We also make sure that we get you good throughout the route, 3 meals per day. So you will get that 3 meals as an inclusion which you will be having. So apart from that good food, the fourth important concept is then your mental readiness. So you're sleeping well, you're drinking water throughout, and then you're having nutritious food, and then you're concentrating only on enjoying the trek. That is what becomes a wholesome trek. So your trek is not just your physical fitness, it's also about your mind fitness and also taking care of you on the trek route. So yeah, pretty much that. Okay, so packing tips. I think we already covered while we spoke about the things to carry list, which is basically pack smart. Don't overstuff. I have seen somebody who has bought you have these gels nowadays, energy gels, no? For Everest Base Camp Trek, they bought 30 gels. Even if you consume one gel per day, the entire itinerary is 11 days. And I don't think people will have the patience to take out a gel on one of the difficult days. They'll even forget. Even if they take it, they'll not even consume it. Fine. Even if you consume one gel per day, even if you ration it, right, you might, per one gel per day, it should not cross 11 gels. Similar to that, even this trek route, it's only 4 days. For 4 days, make sure that you don't overpack anything. Keep your backpack as light as possible. As I told you, in fact, this route can be, you can carry your own bag in this entire route. In fact, you don't even need a porter. So you can pack it so light. So always pack bags. Even if you have a porter, consider that. A trek is never complete without you carrying your own weight. Even though we give you the convenience of carrying the trek, in fact we want to give the convenience of carrying the weight, because we have people anywhere from 7 all the way until 70 years doing the trek route. But at the same time, we also want people to understand, once you graduate from one trek to two treks to third trek, but the third trek you should understand, if you can't carry the bag which you pack and come, then you're overpacking it. Simple as that. So make sure that you pack the trekking bag, the main bag, as light as possible. What is only required for the route. And don't bring anything that, as as I told you earlier, that you may need for the trek. It is not sorry, you may think you may need for the trek. Only those things which are absolutely required. Example, you need a torchlight, which we didn't sorry, we missed that also. You need a torchlight, you will need to pack a torchlight. But I've seen people bring backup of torchlight. So stuff like that, don't do that. You might need one or two trekking pants, don't bring more than two trekking pants. There are people who bring on the trek route night dress. And I mean, each to his own, but you're going to wilder area where it doesn't make any sense, wearing another pair of clothes for the entire night. But yes, if you feel like, please do bring. But I would say, that is actually unnecessary. That's only an adding extra luggage to you. Now, layers, and also, for layers, I have seen people have two different, fleece jackets. Down jackets, they're not sure, so they bring two different down jackets. It's better that you always check with your trek leader and then see what is better for you and then take it. Snacks, food, your gear, and everything which is required, pack only those things. Now, coming down to how you pack them, don't fold your clothes while you do a trekking bag packing. Try to roll them. So basically, t-shirts, roll them, because it can use all the nooks and corners of your bag. If you can use the travel pouches, which is basically a cube, we call them, no, those travel cubes which are there. You can keep innerwears in one cube, you can keep t-shirts in one cube, you can keep trekking pants in one cube, you can keep all your utilities, which is basically your toiletries and your medication, in one cube. So that way we can have cubes. You can stuff those cubes into your main bag. So that way, just make sure that you pack smart accordingly. And whenever you use the clothes, you can always have an extra packing cube where you can keep all the laundry in it separately. That is something which you can keep it separate. Apart from this, any waste you generate, like let us say you had some chocolate, let us say you consumed an ORS, please make sure you dispose it off properly. In fact, this route has dustbins, please dispose it off in the homestays, or you keep it with you until you find a homestay. So that is your packing smart. Trekking etiquette. So basically, we tell people to avoid wearing bright color clothes, because they are, most of the trekking routes are in the wild, and then so we never know where you can have human and animal conflict, right? So it should not cause any irritation to them, or it should not provoke them to stimulate them to come and attack you. So avoid wearing bright clothes, avoid wearing deos on the route, and avoid wearing non-breathable fabric. That's a very beautiful thing. Basically, I've seen people carry hoodies on the route. Hoodies doesn't make any sense. It helps you with cold, but one single rain, the hoodie, which is only 500 grams, will weigh probably 2 kgs. So stuff which is not necessary, don't carry them. And yeah, pretty much that. Uh, Wildlife Act doesn't tell you to any which ways play music. If you want to listen to music, please feel free. Wear a micro, wear probably a headphone or something like that for yourself, not for the entire world. Yeah, and don't take anything that is not required for you to carry on the trek route. Non-essential items, your valuables, you have it. Non-essentials, like the suitcases, what you might bring, the extra luggage, the extra laundry which you might have, keep it in there, because you'll come back to the same hotel. This is your packing. Now comes the next part, which is basically what happens on the mountain. Risk contingency. Contingency is a very, very strong word. It might give a negative vibe, but then we have to always prepare for the worst, right? So every single route, I think like this. So all the routes what we have did until now, be it Valley of Flowers, be it Everest Base Camp, be it the Mount Elbrus expedition, what we have, we thought like, just like you guys, I am a trekker or I am a climber this particular day, I'm here. What might go wrong for me? There are three particular things what might go wrong. One, I may have an accidental fall. I'll fall down, I'll break my hand, I'll break my leg, or I break my body parts, right? So this is one, accidentals. Second, I may get flared up, whatever I had, no comorbidities I had. What is comorbidity? I may have diabetes. I may have underlying psychologically, I may have underlying, physical issues with regards to health. And third, I may get AMS. So only three kind of issues may flare up in the entire trek route. One, accidental falls. Second, comorbidities, which is basically the existing diseases I may have, which may come up. Third, I may have AMS. AMS is two types. One is HAPE and one is HACE. High altitude cerebral edema and high altitude pulmonary edema. Cerebral is basically your brain getting fluid filled with, and pulmonary is basically your lungs getting its fluid filled with because of the high altitude. Because of the pressure, the fluid gets filled. Now, all these three things have two stages. Stage one, minor. Stage two, code red, major. Simple as that. So what is minor? I had a fall, I broke my elbow, but then I can still trek, right? I can manage by taking a painkiller. I can probably put on a crepe band. I can trek. That is normal, right? It's in the stage one. I had AMS. I have slight pain. I have slight tinging sensation in my head. That's also normal. I can still go ahead and carry the trek, consulting my trek lead. And I had diabetes, but on the route I feel really sweaty. I feel, diabetes is flaring up. But this has also happened to me in my home city because I missed my medication, or because a change of water, or because change of altitude, weather, and all those things. These are all stage one, which can be managed, which will allow you to continue with the trek. We will assess, we will sit every single day. We have, in fact, health card check, where we check your health card every single day and then make sure that you are all right that day. So the trek lead will be able to see, are you good, by doing a small SPO to check your blood oxygen, and also to see, because middle of the trek doesn't make sense to see whether you're feeling right, or, I mean, we'll check, obviously you're doing the trek right or not. But overall, the health wise, as well as the entire trek, considering, in order to consider the trek into picture, we would like to see whether you're all right to do the trek tomorrow. So that will be decided today in the evening, right? So this is basically will happen every single day, and by then we'll understand whether it is stage one or stage two. Now, what is stage two? You had a fall, you broke your ankle so bad you can't even walk more than probably 10 steps, 15 steps. It's paining very badly. Second, comorbidities have raised so high that you need emergency medical attention. Three, haze or HAPE, you're taking Dimox and still you're not able to cope up with the there's vomitation, there's diarrhea, there's continuous shooting pain in the head. Then that is stage two. So basically only these three things will happen. So now, as I told you earlier, we have been to Valley of Flash. We have thought, just like a trekker, what might go wrong in this route. Similar to that, we have been to Markha Valley. We have thought what wrong can go wrong in this route. Think like a local. I am a person staying in Markha. What could I do when I need emergency medical attention? The only way is evacuating you from out of the place, right? So stage one, we try to help you out, give you medication, we try to motivate you, and we try to push you to complete the trek. Stage two, we always find alternatives where we set up SOPs where we make sure that we take you down. How do you take evacuate you from that route, right? So we suggest, we help you with the evacuation. So now we are also making sure we insure all of you on an adventure insurance policy as part of TrekNomads ethos. We are giving that for all the Indian treks, right? Now this route also we're giving you that insurance. Now, if something goes wrong very drastically, you have insured already there. We are covering that precaution. Now we also have a health card where we see every single day. On spite of all these things, you need evacuation. The only easiest thing is sending you out from the trek route as soon as possible. Other treks we might need to have a mule, but this trek there is an alternative route. When I say alternative route, the road is there from Sara, but a 4x4 can drive all the way up to Markha. If something goes wrong, right, from Nimaling, we try to bring you down all the way to Markha, and then we take you by a vehicle. We probably for 5,000-6,000 rupees extra, a vehicle comes and picks you up from Markha and goes back all the way to Leh, and you can get medical attention in probably 5-6 hours within that particular day, right? So let us say today evening we're sitting over here, and I find let us say Suresh not feeling well. I'll be like, Suresh, not happening. Tomorrow morning we're booking a vehicle for you. We try to reach out using one of the Wi-Fi's nearby Wi-Fi hotspots, or we run to the nearest place where there's internet available or no Wi-Fi available. Send a message to our team saying that Suresh is not feeling well. Tomorrow morning, please send a vehicle, and we'll give a plan of action. I'm going to bring down Suresh down probably by in another 2 to 3 hours to Markha. Make sure we meet. Our rendezvous point is set up. We'll meet in Markha village and so and so place. We'll drop Suresh there, and then from there you can carry on. So a vehicle taxi driver will come pick you up and go. So these are the easiest thing what we can do in this route. Other routes we have other things which are there, but we always map nearest hospital, nearest ATM, nearest dispensary, or first aid center. That has been mapped. In this route also we have it. We have two as per the government scheme where they set up two medical centers which are there. One is in Markha, one is around Hunker. So if you need minor medication which is required, you have those two medical centers. Even though it is understaffed, but still you have some medical center who can help you out with oxygen, and we can also help you out with few medication. But it's not open always. But in the times of contingencies, we always rely on bringing you down to Markha and then taking a vehicle from Leh who will have to come and pick you up and then drop you back in Leh. But if something wrong happens on top of Kongmurla Pass, once you cross the pass, the only way is getting you down towards Chokdo, right? So the entire team will help you out in taking you down to Chokdo as early as possible, where a vehicle is again available. In a matter of 4 to 6 hours, we take it to Leh. This is the contingency plan what we have for this entire route. Okay, so the inclusions and exclusions. Sorry that we missed this. This slide should have been next to the itinerary, but any which ways. So what and all inclusions do we have? So this route has 4 nights of stay in Leh, which is 2 nights before the trek and 2 nights after the trek, right? This is going to be in a deluxe hotel. Apart from that, this route also has 3 nights on the route where 2 nights you camp. So you stay in the homestay or camp in the route, and 1 night compulsory camping in that the stationary campsite which is set up by the government. That is 3 nights on the route. So this is the stays what you get. Apart from that, you get food from the day when you reach Leh, right? That day night dinner, next day night food, which is breakfast, and lunches in Leh is not covered. So basically, in Leh you have 4 nights. Out of the 4 nights, you spend only 3 afternoons. So 3 afternoon lunches are not there. This is to actually, on purpose we have kept, you can say. Why other places when we give lunch, we also give you lunch also. So usually what happens is, when we keep lunch, people simply eat and then just stay in the hotel. Few people do that, but maximum of the crowd what we have seen is they usually go out and explore the afternoons, right? So one, that is one of the reason, and second reason in Leh especially is because we don't want you to be in the route, in the homestay at all or the hotel at all in Leh. We want you to go around, walk around a little bit, but don't exert yourself too much. Why? Because we want you to get acclimatized as well. So in Leh there's no lunch given also, as one of those reasons is that only. So we are not giving you lunch for 3 days, but in the route all 3 times food is given to you. North Indian vegetarian meals are given to you along with boiled eggs, right? These are given to you on the route. Now, apart from this, you have transportation. What is transportation? You go from Leh all the way to Sara village on day 3. And on day 6, we take you from Chokdo all the way back to Leh. This is two transportation, which is a separate vehicle, non-AC vehicle is given to you. Apart from this, you also get certified guides from Leh who will be leading the route, right? They'll have first aid kit for sure, and also you will also have to take ILP, inner lane permit, along with the forest permit which you have to take to do this trek. So those permits will be sorted by us on day 2 or day 3 before you leave for the trek. And as a TrekNomads, every time we give a small t-shirt as memorabilia which you can remember, and we'll provide the same for you, TrekNomads goodies and t-shirt. And along with that, we have few brand collaborations. When you join the group, we will send that links for you where you can purchase. We have Fast and Up, we have Gokyoka brand, which is a trekking apparel, and also Beemore is a wet wipe, which is actually very useful on the entire route. So you can consider that. These are all are the inclusions. What is not included? The cost to reach Leh and back, either flight, train, bus, whatever it is, or road, totally your call. That is not covered. If you want to upgrade yourself from a double sharing, the cost given to in the website is only for double sharing. If you want to upgrade yourself from a double sharing to single sharing, that is extra. Porter to carry the luggage on the route. As I mentioned earlier, porter on this route is very difficult and tricky, and reason why we're not able to add it as a part of the inclusion. So that is extra, which you can pay there directly. There are two routes in India where it's tricky to do that. One is Sandakpur, and second is this route. And yeah, in fact, entire Leh and West Bengal has that problem. So reason why we've removed that. Now, third is in case of any emergency, the evacuation and all those costs are not covered because basically we'll have to pay additionally out of the itinerary, right? But then you're also covered. We are also giving that insurance for you, meaning which your evacuation cost can be claimed from the insurance company. So we'll help you in doing the evacuation. You pay the evacuator, whoever the taxi or it is, then you claim it from the insurance company, which is usually easily covered. Apart from this, your personal trekking gear, your trekking shoes, your trekking, let us say down jacket, all the gear what is required for you has to be taken by you. And consider giving a tip to the local people. It's always, these guys, I mean, they're not earning in the cities. There's a reason why the mountains are mountains, because those people are there making it possible for us. If not, they might come to cities and work just like us. So yeah, consider tipping them. So probably whatever best you could do. It's not a force. It's just a customary thing we suggest people. And any sightseeing, entry tickets or anything as such is also not covered. And anything which is not part of the inclusions are something which are not included. So these are the inclusions and exclusions. We can go to next slide. There's a few beautiful pictures what I could see. Uh, you can see the bottom 3 pictures what you can see are actually in Leh. These are all sightseeing places. And the top 3 photos are the photos of the Markha Valley route. So the monastery, you can see there's this palace, Leh Palace, which is there on the middle photo in the bottom. So I mean, Leh has its own unique nomadic architecture which is there. So yeah, Shanti Stupa photo which you can see. You can see this one of this. This is called a money which is there in middle of the the top most. So money is another name for a jewel. So Tibetans believe that it brings good luck, right? You go clockwise around it. So whenever you see a money, right? So please make sure. I mean, if you're going, you have to in which ways cross it. If there's a situation where you have to cross it, cross clockwise. Don't cross anti-clockwise. And yeah, this is the rugged terrain what you can see. And on the bottom left side, you can see that there was Kongmurla Pass. And with that, we come to the end of this. This is one of the bridges which you can see, and you can see in the far Kangetse mountain. In fact, one more thing which I completely missed while talking, you get to see Kangetse on the entire route. Beautiful 6,500 meters mountain, and yeah, it's the training ground for somebody who wants to become a mountaineer from trekker. This is the mountain, so you guys can get to see that, and yeah, beautiful wild lay scene here. Yes, guys. With that, our itinerary, I mean, the entire webinar comes to an end, and we are open to questions. If any of you are there, you can turn on your mic and you can talk. No questions? Suganti ma'am, hi.
Hi,
So
no
good,
questions.
good numbers every week. She's one of the most consistent person I've seen. Probably I have not been so much consistent climbing mountains. Every week, one of the other physical exercises, and she will send a screenshot saying that I did this with this weekend.
Thank you, thank you. No question, Hemant.
Good.
Everything clear.
I
Good.
hope
Everything is
webinar was informative.
more informative.
Good, good, ma'am.
Uh, Prepared well.
Nice. Keep doing it. You have the dream of climbing Everest base camp. I have it in back of my mind.
Everest
So
Base Camp and Kilimanjaro.
yes, yes.
Uh,
So after this Everest base camp. So for sure.
Next year, April.
Perfect.
Okay, okay,
Perfect.
Hemant. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Jacqueline, hi. Good evening.
Yeah, hi, good evening, Hemant. A couple of questions, Hemant.
Please, please.
How long has TrekNomads been offering this trek? That is one. Second, if I understood you correctly, there is an option for homestays or the camps, but that depends on the group that we
Entire
sign up
group.
for. And also for the mule versus the porter, or that is definitely the porter. So that's my next question.
Okay. Number one, how long are we doing Markha Valley Trek? The first time we did Markha Valley Trek ourselves when we did a recce is 2021. And there's a lot of routes which are there. We even now we have at least 10 plus routes which we have did ourselves, but we have not set up on our website. Why we don't set it up? Because we want to operationally make sure we can optimize and then provide as a package. Reason why we didn't do it for a lot of time. And 2022 we set up the first Markha Valley route where we sent I think 3 4 batches continuously. And this route is very offbeat. Not many people knew in 2022. In 2022, when you go Google Markha Valley, you used to have at least us used to get Geological Society of India's maps at that point of time, and used to get a couple of other companies who were offering it. Now apart from this, we also have another trek called Lasharmola. You can go simply search Lasharmola. Except us and another trekking company, nobody else is offering it. So that way, Marka Valley itself is an offbeat trek. But keeping it short, we're doing it from 2022. And second, this entire route has either options of homestays or camping. So camping gives you the flexibility. If you have a group of 6 people and above, advantage is you'll have our own camping because camping is a fun thing to do in this route. Not here, everywhere, right? Uh, it is safe to do camping in this route, and it's also convenient for 2 to 3 reasons. One, you'll have your own toilet, which is dry pit, and you get to have separate toilet place for yourself. Whereas the other toilet option what you have in homestay is actually a dry toilet, which is a closed toilet. So the option of you getting water is not there, right? And it is not compulsory, that it is going to water is going to be there all the time. No, it's better that you always have a new toilet than have a toilet which is already covered, right? So that is one. Now, second thing is you have good, beautiful grasslands where you get to have camp in a very soft bed grassland. So reason why camping is also fun. But certain times, uh, people prefer to do the homestays. Homestay ka advantage kya hai? you get to have a proper brick and mortar where you can sleep in a bed with a blanket and everything. So you can do both the ways. So what happens is, instead of we going to the camping ground, we camping ground is usually 1 kilometer ahead or 1 kilometer before the actual village. So instead of going to the camping ground, we instead of that we stay in the homestays. So that is with regards to stays. But invariably you have to go to Nimaling campsite, which is going to be difficult. So you have to get used to that Nimaling campsite. So you can't avoid that. So there's no other way for it. Now coming on to the third question what you had, which is basically porters. Porter also the same thing. Considering this trek is actually very very offbeat, uh, not many groups go. You find a lot of foreigners on this group, and I think thanks to whatever war has happened, there may be less amount of foreigners in Leh right now. It depends. We never know how the things will change in the next 1 2 months. We have a group happening this week, in fact, and this you because of the remoteness of this trek and because of the non-commercial availability of this trek, what is happening is mules don't go by this route every single day. While people who climb Kangetse mountain, they take mules and go, because they have to carry every single thing on the mule only, because they have to go on top of mule only, or even to the base of the mountain. So they have mules. But trekking companies, when they offer commercial, right? So what happens is, I have to make sure that I have to have a group of 8 people to 10 people, which actually becomes difficult in few of the trek routes, because of which we're not able to commit on giving a mule. So there's no mule for that particular reason. So on the particular day when you're coming, right, or to the Leh, whenever you book the trek, if the mule is possible, right, we talk to the mule guys, right? We'll tell them, we only have a group of 5 people. Is it possible to give 2 mules? If they agree, well and good. You can get it at a fraction of a price. You pay only 500, 600 rupees, and you can go with the flow, whatever price they're offering. You can take them on the flow, on the day itself, on the spot. Simultaneous plans can be made. If not, you end up purchasing a porter. We pay a porter. We tell them, boss, I would like to, take the trek, come for the offloading bulk. Okay? We pay him around 1500 to 1800, and the team can decide whether they want to take it or not. In fact, for 4 days, I would say, I think it's not required if you're used to carrying it. But yes, we try to offer the, what is the convenience in carrying it for you. So these are the three answers.
Okay, one last question. I've just come back from trekking in Peru, so I'm aware of the fluctuating weather and the altitude. But is it? I mean, I did not take Dimox over there too. I
Yes.
heard you. I think you're also not recommending Dimox even for this trek, right?
Frankly speaking, thanks to a lot of doctors coming on the road, they gave me a earful. So at this point in time, if you ask me personally, I will not take Dimox. I have climbed up to, I think, higher than 6,500 meters, and touched close to 7,000 and come back. I have not taken Dimox. I have not seen mountaineers who are sane who are taking Dimox, because there is no pill which has been. It's not a magic pill. It is not being given for what is that, AMS at all. A pill which is discovered or invented for kidney disease is being used as something which is for AMS. People don't even, did they have the elementary question? Nobody has the answer. Only thing Dimox is helping you at this point of time is it's thinning the blood. It is stopping the amino acid which produces a kind of a that you have this what is it called, kidney produces a kind of adrenaline, right? So it stops production of adrenaline, it thins the blood, and it pushes the carbon dioxide out of your body. Now, for all these things to happen, if there is plus to a medicine, there's also a side effect. What is that side effect? You need to push all this, whatever you consume, out of your body, which is basically, there's some toxicity which gets developed and you have to push it away. What is that? You pee like anything. So you have to make sure you drink at least 5 liters of water if you're taking Dimox. So now what it is giving as an advantage, it also has a disadvantage where you have side effects, which is basically, one, you have to go to the urine very often and make sure you consume at least 5 6 liters of water per day. And three, it also has dryness. You get tingling sensation everywhere. And now, if at all you really had like, let us say, some kind of AMS issues, you cannot actually differentiate whether it is real AMS or not, because the medicine is already suppressing the symptoms of AMS. It is not suppressing AMS, by the way. It is suppressing the symptoms, and it's helping in acclimatization. Now, what happens? I'm really facing some kind of AMS situation under me, and I'm taking a drug which is not allowing me to show my symptoms. That becomes a dangerous turn. Suddenly, you start getting haze or hay. So that is good. Some people say, because you're anyways giving a precaution is better than cure, kind of a thing. So there are, the entire world of trekking and monitoring, people divide into two different parts. 50% will believe, I think naturally I can acclimatize, let me do it. Right? 50% will believe, no, I would like to go the Dimox route, I will take it, I'll finish the full course. If something goes wrong, I'm just going to go back. So either have two mindsets. Don't be in between. Don't be on top of the ledge, is what even I will suggest people. Either take it, please take it with full confidence, believing your doctor. If you're not taking it, call me up, I'll explain you why it is good to not to take it. So at this point I would not recommend. At the same time, I will not say please don't take it also, because it's better that we let it be, because in this it's an argument which never ends.
Okay, thank you.
Chandrika ma'am, you have any questions?
No, I don't have any question. I think I spoke with you for the which one
Oh,
you remember now?
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
Your
So
name says Tokyo Plast or something like that, so I
yeah,
couldn't.
yeah, that's my some because I have so many meetings going on
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
company,
I
so that's
understand,
why.
I understand. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right, right. So I spoke with you a few
I
times,
know, I
a
know,
few days back,
I
and
know, I know.
my
Chandrika
my
Kirani, yeah.
intention, my goal is something different, like in Kangyatse 2 or in Kijiman, that's
Kilimanjaro.
Manjaro, yeah.
Yeah,
And yeah, so the path is like I was thinking to do this one, just to the elevation for the elevation.
correct. See, you wanted to do Kangetse too when we last time spoke. So
Right,
what I would suggest you see, since you joined the call, not to hard sell you anything as such, you have the advantage of joining one of our batches this 18th. I mean, if you are free. If not, consider joining one of the batches in this coming season. You contact us, we'll tell you. I think you're in touch with Suresh or Abhishek, right? So I'll
right.
inform them also. What I'll tell them is, suggest you to join one of those batches when we're doing expedition of Kangetse too. So you will be able to go along with the trek with them. In fact, Sugandhi here also is coming. I think she's coming on August 22nd. So you can join one of those batches where we are going out to do the expedition, when you can see actual climbers climbing. You can see how they prepare themselves every single day. And in fact, no advantages, you stay in the base camp. Instead of Nimaling, we make you stay in the base camp where you can see people when they prepare and they climb the mountain. So that way, probably you can get an idea of it.
Okay, because I was thinking to do this Markha Valley just to have that 70, like some, this, whatever the higher altitude, like 17,000. What is the feet, right? So 5,000 something feet. So I was thinking to do this and then next year EBC and then Kangyatse. So I was just thinking that way. That's why I'm here right now.
ठीक है ठीक है not an issue, so we'll connect with you. So Markha Valley, one of the you see the possible dates when you can do in the coming season, and yeah, we'll help you out with
But do you
upcoming.
think so? I can go directly to the Kangyatse because I was think like
I would suggest you, as I told you, see, one step at a time. Because, you see, now you can go ahead and try it on, do it with us. See, for us, what you book a trek, we'll do the trek for you. We have to do the trek for you. But
right.
then we are those few, at least, if you ask me, we're one of those few people who are still in the industry who are like, you want to understand आपका, experience kya hai with regards to the treks. At least to
Yeah,
understand what is your, fitness level is at this point of time, and
right.
then suggest you, we want you to really stand on top of the mountain when
Hmm.
at the face of the difficulty of what the mountain throws at you. I am nobody, you are nobody, right? So we would really want you to be on top of the mountain. For that, there's a way, which is basically go one step at a time. Do
Okay,
5,000, do 6,000, and then do a summit. So
right.
do 4,000, 5,000, and do a summit of 6,000. So that way you already be into good amount of treks. The only thing is, don't give that gaps in between. So you can see, a Sugandhi was there until now. What Sugandhi does is every 4 to 6 months she is on a trek,
Okay,
and she makes sure that every week once. And I'm not sure about what she does every single day, but every Sunday for 1 hour she goes on a small run or a trek, half a day trek, and she'll post
right.
this thing saying that, no, I'm doing this just for Everest Base Camp. Similar to that, I'm sorry, I'm comparing. Don't think otherwise.
No, no, no. It's fine. It's fine.
And you're from Maharashtra, so you take the advantage of going to Sahyadris. You have so many forts there.
Right.
Spend time in going and climbing the forts. You can always do it.
Yeah, yeah. And that's I do. That's I have tomorrow and anyway small tracks or some more other way I do that. And I do running also. So 10 by up to the 10-15 kilometers, I do running. So
See, when you say running, I have two reservations. Usual marathon runners want to do running for their
right,
personal best. Now,
right,
people try to mix that with trekking. For a trek, you're not doing running at all. Point one, you get endurance.
right,
Yes, endurance will help you. For a trek, the most important part is you wearing a bag and running. So after you decide you want to climb a mountain, right?
right,
Trekking is completely, a very easy thing to do.
right,
Mountaineering is completely a really, what do you say, a different game. I would not say trekking is easy. Sorry, wrong usage of words. Trekking is a different league, and mountaineering is a different league altogether. The moment you
right.
choose mountains, make sure that you are disciplined for yourself. Forget Hemant, forget TrekNomads, forget any company, because on top of a mountain, one single slip, you're down. One
Right,
single, let us say you're not prepared for sleep deprived endurance, you give up. So it's better
right,
that you prepare yourself, and also preparing for mountains and also going to the mountain, coming back is it kind of re-energizes your entire blood work. You get good amount of platelets, you get good amount of red blood cells. I mean, by the time you prepare yourself to a 6,000-meter mountain, you are like at least half a year young. I mean, your lifespan increases, is what I meant to tell. So health is
yeah,
beneficial. Second, you also are getting fitter. I mean, day by day, you're also putting that effort what is required for you to do the 6,500-meter mountain. So I would say every week keep an activity, make it a hobby, right?
okay,
Try to explore that and mix yourself, and then start posting that updates. You can post it to us. We're happy to receive it. I'm not kidding.
where do I post it to you guys? I don't know
Just
about it.
DM us. Not even kidding. I'm telling you, right? We tell all the people, no, please let us know what are you preparing, right? And of all those people, few people message us actually.
Oh,
Examples I'm telling you, right? They message us telling, hey, this week I did this. How do
okay,
you think I know I'm fair? Like, frankly speaking, we are not experts with regards to fitness. So right,
right,
that's a small, place where like-minded people are able to tell you, this works for you this week. Next week,
mm,
ये करो बोल सकता है. So based on that, we'll be able to. So let us say Sugandhi wants to do Everest Base Camp. I know what to guide her when she messages me. Similar to that, you want to do Kanget Setu, you post your, what is that time to me, and I will always let you know. Okay, this is my suggestion for you to do this thing. Let us say
okay,
Kanget Setu. So that way, you can always do that with us. We are always happy to do that.
okay. Thank you so much. But just I want to because if you say that running is instead of running, like as a marathon runner, the people run
Hmm?
majorly.
Hmm?
You say that just carry the bag and walking is
Yes.
more better than the running, or how does?
I mean, you want to run, but don't target for a personal best. Just run with a bag. You not
Okay,
you want to in fact, instead of running with a bag, do stair climbing with a bag. That's more ideal for you.
okay,
Running, you do running. Running is endurance.
right,
For your endurance on top of a mountain, you should climb stairs,
okay, okay,
right? So for that stairs, just make sure you wear a bag and then do the stairs.
okay, okay. Understood. Will do.
Done.
One at a time, I'll do.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Anytime. Hope we're able to help you out.
Yes, 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 yes. I'm there. I have some goals, so I'll definitely be there.
Help you out.
And I
Right?
think EBC, I'll do it in April also.
Mm-hmm.
EBC. That's what
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to do that also. First, I'll do the EBC, then I'll do the Kangyatse. That's what my plan is right now.
Got it.
Same year, next year. Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
All right. Thank
Yes.
you.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah.